All right, friends, I finally figured this thing out. Sometimes it wants to film in portrait, sometimes in landscape. You know, it's only my millionth week filming on YouTube, and I'm still figuring it out. Anywho, no specific props that you need today, so I'm gonna get set up and give you the details. Currently, we have Ms. Zoe joining us, so if you have a doggo to join you on your mat, you know, invite them around to step on you during your Shavasana, maybe. They tend to be experts at that. But nothing specific that you need, just a mat. If you want to use a mat, you don't even have to have a mat. You could work on the carpet or a rug or a towel or a blanket. And do not mind, please, my slightly messy house these days. Rearranging, readjusting some stuff in the house, so. All right, my friends, no specific playlists. If you do want to listen to some music during class, I have a ton under my Apple Music account at Yogi DLT, the same as my Insta account. And you can listen to any yoga playlist. I post them all publicly, so you can download them. You can just listen to them as you go along. But that's where they get it. So I'm on Apple Music under Yogi DLT. Zoe might be joining us more often throughout class. She'll probably come over to bug me at some point when I'm laying on my back, probably try to lick my face. Huh. Is that your number one skill in life? Interrupting mom's yoga classes? Yes. This is Zoe. Zozo. Zozilla, the Zoinator. She's got a lot of nicknames. And she's really good at interrupting yoga classes. So you'll see her probably pop in and out of the frame here and there. Huh. She's being very demanding of pets today. If you hear her snoring as well, the snoring would probably be her in the background. She's a great snorer. You can bring props in if you want blocks or anything like that. I'm just going to give us a couple minutes to get up to time and to get our live stream going. We're going to have a fun flow with some arm balance options, so take or leave whatever you want. Get your music queued up, grab some water or some sort of liquid to fuel you through your practice. No judgment. And that's it. I will see you guys soon. Okay, Miss Zozo, we gotta get our AirPods hooked up. We gotta remember all the things we need for class today. Except I'm so organized, I already brought them out here. Enjoy your live stream of Zozo for the current moment. Let's see if we are in the shot fully, huh? Yeah, we'll see. You're a good girl. Okay, my head is not cut off. That's a start, but my arms go over my head. I definitely need some more distance, so let's raise this up a little bit. What it looks like on my phone is totally different when it comes out for you on the screen. All right, friends, keep getting cool. Got the AirPods hooked up, so we're all good to go. You've still got Zoe to look at and her cuteness. Get started in about 3 more minutes or so. Are you cute? Why are you so cute? You know what? I lied. Maybe we'll grab a pillow or a block or a meditative cushion or whatever you've got, but pillow works too, to sit on because we are starting class seated. So a pillow for your seat might be nice. I have a handy dandy meditation cushion, but honestly, I could also just grab a pillow from my sofa and that would also count too. It also work for me. But we are going to start off seated today. So I just wanted to make sure that if you want that option to lift your sit bones off the earth, give a little bit more height to your seat, a little bit less strain on the hip flexors and the hip area, that you have that ability to do that. All right, Ms. Zozo, are you going to do your yoga today? Sorry, while we're waiting on time, you had to hear a dialogue of me just talking to Zoe, which is 90% of my day, probably. Me just talking to my dog. Probably need my water over here. Agua. Much better. Hey, you. And of course, I feel like all dogs know when your yoga mat is out, and then they like to lay on it and step on it. She's the queen of that. All right, my friends are in their last minute until we get started with yoga. Grab whatever you want, a drink, uh, music, and maybe a pillow to sit on, or a meditative cushion, or a block, or whatever you got around your house that you don't mind sitting on. A sofa cushion works too. I need to turn on lights, I just realized. In my house, it's kind of dark. Sorry, guys. I'm one of those like energy conservation people who don't run lights in their house during the day. I really don't like keeping the lights on. But for filming a class, this makes sense. All right, hopefully now you can see a little bit better. I am Christine. Yogi DLT is my Instagram handle, but it's also my Apple Music handle. So you can go on Apple Music and find all my playlists. All my yoga playlists are on there, and some other random playlists are on there. So hey, have fun, have a dance party. Especially if you're stuck at home these days, there might be some fun playlists that you find on there. Um, the Funky Jams playlist has been kind of carrying me through, making some days a lot better than others. Anyways, thanks for joining us. I teach in Black Swan Yoga Austin. So if you want to make a donation, they're all available to make donations through our blackswanyoga.com page, but also I think their Instagram still has the link, I think, to it. Or just go to blackswanyoga.com, Austin as your city, and make a donation for the Austin yoga teachers. We really appreciate your donations. 100% of them come to us for teaching these classes. So hopefully you get to take away some awesomeness from this practice and then give back a little bit to us for teaching these classes. And keeping them up for free for you guys online for as long as you want. It is completely donation based. So if you want to make a donation, if you can make a donation, we would be very grateful. Right, Zozo? She seemed to perk up at donation. She says it buys me more treats. Um, Anywho, I don't have any announcements or anything. I guess I teach yoga outside on Sunday mornings, my 9 a.m. class at Westgate. If you're in the Austin area, please join me. But if you're practicing anywhere else in the world, welcome. So glad you are practicing. Lately, my style has been focused on a lot of self-compassion. So please, please, please do that for yourself. Be compassionate, be kind, be loving to yourself. If something's not happening today, don't say mean things in your head. We say worse things to ourselves than we would ever utter aloud to anybody else. So let's not do that. Let's work on, let's not do that. Sounds very definitive. Let's try to not do that. Let's try to work on avoiding that. and reminding ourselves when we catch ourselves doing it that we just need to be nice and understanding, just like we would to Miss Zozo. We'd be super understanding if she didn't want to play outside because it's too hot today. We should also extend that same compassion and empathy that we do to our loved ones, to ourselves. All right, that being said, I don't think I can get her off my mat right now, so I'll just let her be. We're going to start in a meditative seat. As you can see, I'm sitting crisscross applesauce style on a seat, on a little meditative seat, but you could also sit on a pillow or a block or anything you want, or you could just have your booty right on your mat. That's totally fine. Now, I want us to settle in before we close our eyes, because sometimes we jump into a class and the teacher just says, close your eyes and arrive. And it's like, whoa, if you just had something really crazy happening 2 seconds before this, it's kind of hard to transition so quickly. It's like a 180 on you, and maybe there's some whiplash. So let's take a moment here to settle in, to find our sit bones rooting down, to find the placement of our hands. So if you want to go more traditional style, we're going to create a mudra by pressing our pointer finger and our thumb together. This is recycling energy within our body. It's keeping it sealed in. But I also like to recognize and honor that having your palms facing up means that you're also ready to receive something. And I'm going to talk about a mudra about that today, actually, that we're going to take on in a moment. But for right now, you can just take your thumb and pointer finger pressing together if that feels comfortable to you. Um, if your dog is deciding to move in front of you all of a sudden, you can gently remind your dog to come sit over here. Lay down. Or she's doing yoga with her butt to you guys, sorry. Sitting up nice and tall, let's roll our shoulders up towards our ears and down our back. Crown of our head reaching high towards the sky. And then maybe if it feels right from this point, you start to soften or you close the eyes. You could also keep your eyes open and find a point in space to look at, something that you can just stare at and you're not moving your gaze. You're just doing a visual meditation, maybe looking at one tiny pinpoint of space. Personally, for me, closing my eyes tends to be the place where I feel most comfortable to find a meditative seat. Sometimes my pointer finger and my thumb touching doesn't feel so comfortable, and I want to just place my palms to face down or my palms just to simply face up. Today, I don't think I need to receive any energy. I feel pretty anxious already, so I'm going to face my palms down. Notice what you need now. I gave you an example of how I'm feeling and tuned into that, so maybe you can start to tune in and notice, how is your energy level today? Palms up, palms down, a mudra, no mudra. Again, we're leaning and shifting weight back towards our sit bones. We feel our core engage and fire up. So as you lean forward, you might notice you don't use your core as much, but as you lean back, you really have to. So find that little seat. Tuning into your breath, noticing just what's doing right now. You're not creating any specific type of breath right now. You're just observing and noticing and wondering. Starting to notice where you're holding tension. Is it in the jaw or the space between the brows? Can we soften our facial muscles? Can we soften the shoulders a little bit more, keeping our posture, but also not holding tension of our shoulders up towards our ears, letting them melt further away from the ears. Recognizing and honoring the energy that's floating around in your body and your mind. Is it high energy? Is it anxious energy? Is it low energy? Is it sad energy? Is it kind of melancholy? Is it just neutral? There's so many ways to label how we are feeling, but also recognizing that sometimes we can't necessarily label what we're feeling. We're just feeling something. And giving yourself that space to know that it's okay to feel something that you can't always recognize. Just sitting still with it, noticing it, observing it, and honoring it. When you recognize it's there, you are honoring anything that you're feeling. At After you do that scan, noticing what's going on with you, you might start to become more aware of intentional breathing. So that means breathing down a little bit more into our belly space. We're going to let our belly expand out on the inhale. And we're going to observe how our belly pulls back in on the exhale. Inhale, expand, inflate the belly. Exhale, pull that belly back in. Notice the breath. And that might be where you breathe today. It might just be focused on the belly expanding out and contracting back in on each inhale and exhale, respectively. You might start to stoke a little bit more breath, like ujjayi breath, if that's in your practice, that audible ocean like breath, kind of sounding a little bit like Darth Vader. When you engage that ujjayi breath, that ocean like breathing, you are building up some heat within your own body, in your body from within, not necessarily relying on a studio's heat that might be provided. Trying to get a couple more rounds of stillness, just breathing. Let's take one more breath here, all together, fill up breath all the way up to the crown of your head. Pause, open mouth, big sigh. Begin to flutter open your eyes, become aware of the space around you. Start to notice any shift or change that might have started to slowly occur. It might be really small, it might be very subtle, but notice how you feel reawakening into this space. When you're ready, we're going to remove this cushion or pillow out from underneath our sit bones. Doesn't matter where you put it. Just find a spot to sit back down on your sit bones, rooted and connected to the earth. Grab a tall seat for another breath in. Maybe you close your eyes, maybe you keep your eyes open. But notice how it feels to be rooted to the earth through your sit bones. Does it feel different? Does it feel grounding? When you're ready, if your eyes are closed, begin to flutter them open. Let's swim our arms up high towards the sky. Exhale, drawing your thumbs into your third eye space. You close your eyes once again. Honoring this space of intuition. The space recognizes our intuition and represents it with our third eye space. We need to trust ourselves a little bit more, that gut instinct. Society teaches us to doubt our gut instinct. But unlearning that doubt and learning to trust your gut instinct a little bit more. Drawing your thumbs down to your lips, that space of communication and it represents communication, not only with others, but also with yourself. What kind words can you utter to yourself throughout your practice today? What negative speak can we begin to deal with? That we can begin to learn? We can actively interact and redirect. Drawing your thumbs down to your heart space, knowing that this heart space really represents the love, the empathy, the passion that we feel in our day to day lives, that we extend to others, but we also have to remember to extend to ourselves. Self love, self empowerment, self compassion, and empathy. When you're ready, fluttering, open your eyes, swim your arms up high towards the sky. Exhale, cactus your heart, open a big back bend. Oof. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Again, cactus your heart open, look up, maybe a little bit more of a back bend, pulling your elbows back. Inhale, swim your arms up high. Exhale, a gentle twist over to the right. Bring your right fingertips back behind you, left hand to your right knee as you twist. Now, starting off by gazing over to the right first, because we don't want to over twist into our neck or cervical spine. So we're just simply keeping our chin almost in line with our heart. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale, maybe you twist a little bit more from the belly. Your gaze could twist a slight bit deeper, but not really twisting so you look over your shoulder. That's often a cue. And I notice that strains into the neck. And let's try to avoid that. Let's take care of our whole spine. So, as we don't really over twist into the neck, we just sit up nice and tall and twist from the belly. Full inhale. Exhale, keep your your right hand right where it is. No, left hand, this is left. I'm just mirroring. Reach your right arm up and over as you get a side twist. Feel that stretch in the right side of the body. As you breathe in, find a little bit more length. As you exhale, find a little bit more softness. Let's drop this right hand down. Reach the left arm high to the sky and plant our left hand behind our sit bones. Talking about needing to be compassionate, I need to be nice to myself because I'm doing everything backwards and twisting. And if I mess up my rights and lefts, it's okay. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist a little bit more from the belly space. Good. You can keep your neck up a little bit higher, neutral, or lower down, whatever feels better for you. Experiment a little bit. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Good. You're twisting from the belly space, not necessarily from the neck so much. And when you're ready, keeping your right hand glued to your left knee, sweep this left arm up and overhead. Bring your heart back to neutral so your heart's facing forwards. But this left arm's reaching nice and long. On the inhale, find a little bit more length. Breathe into that left side lung. On the exhale, soften your shoulder, soften your ribs. Come back upright, both hands to our knees now. Arms are crossed. Let's start to fold our way down. Let your head and back round down. Maybe your arms just let go of the knees and relax. Maybe your head just hangs. Maybe a chin rests to an arm or a forehead down to earth or to a block. Or hey, that comfy pillow if you want to prop it up under your head. Just settling in. Two more rounds of breath. One more breath in, feeling that stretch along the back of the neck, possibly. Exhale, rise up. Whew. All right, let's do some shoulder stretches. So, hands to our knees. Let's drop our right shoulder down as we gaze over to the left. Now, your shoulder might not necessarily become so dramatic. It might be a little bit more of a subtle stretch, just depending on the mobility of your shoulders. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, twist over to the right as you drop that left shoulder down. Good, yogis. Patience with your breath. One inhale. Exhale, come back through center. Let's interlace our hands to our low back. Knuckles pull down as the heart lifts and looks up. Exhale, bring your gaze back to neutral. Release your hands. Drop your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Chin in towards chest. Left ear over towards left shoulder. Good. One more time. Chin in towards chest, right ear, right shoulder. Sitting up tall the whole while. Chin back in towards chest. Left ear, left shoulder. Come back to neutral. Let's get a stretch for our wrists. Facing your right hand forward like you're telling somebody to talk to the hand like it's 1992. Take your left hand and flex your fingers back towards your face. Could be anywhere in the 90s. I'm pretty sure anywhere in the 90s counts as a talk to the hand time frame. Maybe not late 90s, but early to mid 90s, that was the thing, right? Exhale, face your fingers down, left hand flexes that hand back. And then start to release, draw some circles into that wrist. Maybe you do some movement in different directions and you find that area that needs a little bit more love. And then when you're ready, face that left hand forward. Tell that person to talk to the hand unless they're 6 feet apart. And then take your right hand and pull those fingers back towards your face. We need to bring back the talk to the hand so people stay far away. Good. Another breath in. Exhale, flex your fingers down, get that stretch. You can add as much pressure to this hand pulling back as you want. You can bend your elbow to loosen it, or you can really straighten that arm. Exhale, release, draw some circles into the wrists. Nice. And then let's come to a tabletop position. So rolling over your knees from that cross out, take some cat cows right away. Inhale, lift the gaze up. Exhale, round and hollow out your spine. Hold your cat-like back. Press your ribs over to the right. Hips start to sink back towards the heels and then over to the left of the ribs. Good. Pull yourself over your fingertips and then over to the right. Hips back towards the heels and then over to the left. As you pull yourself over your fingertips, ribs to the right. Pause. Let's switch it out. Roll over the wrists. Ribs go left. And then hips back towards heels for a moment. To the right. Over the wrists and fingertips to the left. Hips towards heels. And then we come back to neutral. Take another cat-cow set or two at your own pace. Notice what's going on with your breath. Move like you for a moment. I even encourage you to try closing your eyes. You can add in additional wrist stretches, neck stretches, rib stretches, whatever feels good for you. Take one more set of breath in, out. Great, yogis. Let's come back to a neutral tabletop. We're going to take our right hand and we're going to karate chop the top left corner. As we sit our shoulder, we start to relax this right arm down, our right shoulder down. Just sitting and rolling that right side of our body, our ribs down a little bit more. Good. One more breath in here, as far as you can go. Exhale, draw that hand back underneath your shoulder. Left hand karate chops top right corner. And again, start to bow and fold into that left side of your body as it collapses towards the earth. Don't collapse, but as it starts to melt towards the earth, bend into that right elbow as much as you need to. Use that palm as your prop, your kickstand holding you up. Exhale, drag that left hand back in. Nice, yogis. Now let's take some time to crisscross our ankles. And if you can, if it feels all right for your knees, we're just going to sit over our heels to our boat pose Navasana. So from boat pose, we're going to find our little balancing point where you feel really like you're not going to tip back and you're not going to tip forward. So kind of find that point, and then bring your hands behind your thighs. Good. Now we all naturally start to do this. So inhale, roll your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, roll them down the back. Notice how much more length you have along the collarbone. If you want to keep your hands behind your thighs, please do it. If you want to bring your hands away, go for it, my friends. If you want to kick your feet out and extend the legs, oh my goodness, go for it too. This is really tough though. I'm going to stay right here for right now. Keeping your shins parallel to the ceiling. Take another calm breath in. Exhale, kick your legs out long. Nice. Now you can point your toes. That's flexing and pointing. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, kick it out long. You can even keep your legs straight the entire time. Low boat, high boat, low boat, high boat, low boat, high boat. Are you breathing? Low boat, high boat. You got this for 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. A smile helps. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Hold at the bottom. Pulse your feet and hands up and down. Kick into the feet and pulse your hands up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lay it on down. Reach your arms long overhead. It's probably the most core work I've done in a while. All right, raising our heart rate up a little bit. Reach our arms long overhead. I like to hook the thumbs sometimes to get a stretch for the shoulders like a butterfly. Grip. And then reaching and stretching through fingers and toes in this nice good morning stretch, but also getting that shoulder stretch as I pull gently on the thumbs. Exhale, bring yourself back to center. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give it a little rock left and right along the low back. All right. Now that we worked into our abdominals, let's work on some obliques a little bit, the sides. Oh, yeah, here we go. Now we're going to take our hands back behind the nape of our neck. We're going to take our right elbow and connect it to our left knee as we start to kick this right leg out long. Now try to lift this bottom left shoulder off the earth and then try to breathe. And we're going to switch it up because we're doing Yogi Bicycles. Keep switching. Switching for 10, 9. Are you breathing? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that right elbow to your left knee. Switch it out. Hold that left elbow to right knee. Hold and switch. Switch and hold. Switch and hold. Switch and hold. Switch and hold. Last set. Switch and hold is the last one, and then lay it on down. Oh my goodness. Reach long through fingers and toes. If you got some sore core tomorrow, you know who to blame. For me, it's the second day soreness. That's always the worst, so maybe in 2 days. Here's another core work option if you want to take it. If not, just grab onto the backs of your knees and roll up the tabletop. But if you want to take this core work one with me, reach your arms long overhead. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Pull your navel down towards your spine. And then try to reach for your toes as you sit up. Just that extra little bonus one in there. And we'll meet in tabletop. So maybe you roll over those crossed ankles once again, or you kick your knees out to the side. Whatever works for you. All right, yogis. So what we're going to do first is we're going to reach our right toes to the back of our mat. And we're going to do a little pulse into our heel because we're just warming up into that calf. Notice how your calf feels. Is it feeling a little bit tight? Is it feeling a little bit sore? Is it feeling maybe like this doesn't feel like much to it? That's okay. One more full breath in. We're going to hold that heel to the back on the inhale. Stay with it for the exhale. Keeping your left palm planted, peel your right arm up towards the sky. Now you can take this left foot and kick it back behind you like a kickstand, or you can keep it parallel. If you keep it parallel and you start to hover that right foot to hip height, keeping the foot really flexed and active, this is way harder to balance than if you kick your foot back behind you and give yourself the kickstand. You choose. Do you want more core work for balance here?
Or do you want a little bit more stability so you can have some more quality maybe in your practice? Inhale, reach this top right arm nice and long. Find length through that whole right side of your body. Exhale, crunch elbow in towards knee, knee towards elbow. Inhale, find length. Exhale, crunch. Great job, yogis. Inhale, find length. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, find length. Exhale, crunch. One more of those. Inhale, find length. Exhale, find crunch. Good. Inhale, find length. Lower your right hand down, but keep that right leg lifted. Nice work. We're going to take our right knee behind our right elbow. Drop it down towards the wrist. Back up towards the elbow. Down to the wrist. To the elbow. To the wrist. To the elbow. Keep going. You've got this. Notice your breath. Keep moving that from your core strength, also from the quad strength for 5. Last 4. 3. 2. 1. Bring your knee back to neutral. Whew. Let's stretch out that right shoulder because it's probably feeling pretty tense at this point. Inhale, right arm goes high. Exhale, thread the needle. Lower that right ear to the earth. Your left arm can reach long or can wrap around your low back. You could even add that hip stretch by walking your left foot out. Mindful to seal down through the whole foot, including the razor edge, though, if you're doing that. Your choice to choose which shape feels good for you. Slow the breath down. 2 more rounds of breath. Another full breath in. Exhale, let's bring this left palm back near our face. Right arm reaches high towards the sky. Give that wrist a little roll. And then lower that right hand down. Great. Let's reach our left toes to the back of the mat. And again, pulsing into that heel forwards and backwards, warming up into the calf. Maybe even a little bit into the hamstring. Notice where you feel the stretch. Good. We're going to stay with it for another full round of breath. So hold your heel towards the back of the room. Keep it pressing back for the inhale. Stay for the exhale. Here we go. We're pivoting with our left arm high towards the sky. Notice where you want your left leg to go. Hip height, right? Really flex into that foot. If you need to, you could take a peek back. You could also kick your right foot back behind you for a kickstand for a little bit better balance. Inhale, reach that left arm long overhead. Find that length through the whole left side of your body. And on the exhale, crunch elbow in towards knee, knee towards your elbow. Inhale, find length. Exhale, crunch. Feel that into your right glute even. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, find length. Exhale, crunch. Good. 2 more of those. Inhale, find length. Exhale, crunch. Last one. Inhale, find length. Exhale, crunch and hold. Inhale, find length. Lower that left hand. Get down. Keep that left leg lifted. Left knee behind left elbow to wrist to elbow to wrist. Keep going just like that. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're smiling too for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that knee back down. Sweep that left arm high towards the sky. And then thread the needle, left shoulder down, left ear down. You can wrap this arm around your low back. You could reach it long. You could go for that hip stretch. Up to you what you want to take on. Just notice it might be different today than what you normally take, and that's totally fine. Slow down the breath. Maybe let go of a big sigh. Releasing something. Reminding yourself it's okay if you lost track of that intentional, slower breathing. We are human. That is normal. That's why we practice. We're here on the mat to practice reminding ourselves to come back to our breath a little bit more often. And by doing that, we can apply that off the mat because that's when the yoga really begins. Another full inhale. On the exhale, bring your right palm back near your face. Left arm sweeps high to sky on the inhale. Give yourself a little wrist stretch. Roll it out. Let it go. And then lower that left hand down. Nice, yogis. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips high. Down dog. Pedal it out as you arrive. Our first down dog of our practice. Not too shabby. Lifting high onto the tippy toes. Maybe let your heels both fall to the right, adding a bend to the knees, get that stretch on the left side. Inhale back through center. Maybe your heels fall to the left, getting that stretch to the right side of your body. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, walk your feet in a little bit shorter. Good. Now your feet are shorter to the point that your heels are grounded or almost completely grounded. Keeping your hands where they are, can you take your right leg high towards the sky? Now, taking your left hand, grab for your left calf or your left ankle. Whatever you can grab for today. It might just be your right thigh, even. Modify and adjust. This is a balancing pose, so if you fall out of it, that's kind of the intention. That's how you find your balance. It's also how you find to take yourself a little bit less seriously. Sometimes we got to fall out of it and laugh a little bit at ourselves. One more full inhale. Exhale, lower that left hand down, lower the right foot down, pedal it out into short down dog stance, maybe a bend into both knees, and then lower both heels back down to the earth. Sweeping the left leg high, right hand touches the right calf or grabs through the outside of the right calf or outside of the right ankle or thigh, whatever's accessible. If you fall out of it, let's see your right hand is a good idea. It's going to catch you. Keeping those left toes flexed down best you can towards the earth. Breathe into the back of those hamstrings while also working on that challenging core work. You might start to engage your core a little bit more, bringing a little bit more strength to those abdominal muscles that you just fired up. Another full inhale. Exhale, lower your right hand down, lower your left foot down, come back to a neutral down dog stance. Maybe lift high on the tippy toes, bending those knees as much as needed. Give your head a little shake, yes and no. Good. Lift high onto your tippy toes. You can take tiny little tiptoe steps of straight legs and palms rooted down, or you can just get there however you want. But this one's really tough, and the more you work on it, the easier it gets over time. Ragdoll, grab for opposite elbows for just a moment. Let the spine find length. Let the head hang heavy. Come back to breath. Next, inhale, anchor your fingers to your shins. Halfway lift. Number 7 with your body. Shift the weight towards your toes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root and rise. Reach high. Cactus your heart open like we did in our seat earlier. Inhale, arms reach up. Grab onto that left wrist. Stretch up and over to the left. Option to take this left foot across for a little curtsy lunge. If you just want to add a little bit more glute work in there. Inhale, come back through center. Grab onto the right wrist, stretch up and over to the left. Option also to step that right foot across for that curtsy lunge. Breathing into that right side of your body. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, cactus your heart open once again. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. But look how I bend my knees as I swan dive and forward fold. For so long, I kept them kind of locked out. Please bend them as much as needed. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and take any vinyasa you want to get home. That could also just be bending your knees, lifting the hips high in the sky to down dog. It could just be going straight back to down dog. It could be anything you want. Up to you. Just meet back in your down dog. Full inhale. And a calm exhale. Nice, yogis. Lifting high on those tippy toes, gazing forward. Maybe you bend the knees, and this time you take a little hop to get forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root and rise. Reach high towards that sky. Exhale, cactus your heart open. A tuck of the tailbone to protect the low back. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, open, twist right arm back, left arm forward. Square your hips to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, open, twist, left arm reaches back, right arm forward. Inhale, reach both arms high. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and step the left foot back. Keep the right foot forward. Easy twist, peel that right arm high towards the sky. Exhale, lower your right hand to the inside of your right foot. So wiggle that right foot out a little bit wider. We're in an active lizard. Move a little bit forwards and backwards if it feels okay. A little bit left and right, whatever you want. Good. Easy twist once again with this wider stance. Feel that stretch into the hips. Lower that right hand down. Maybe you straighten out that right leg a little bit for an extended lizard pyramid pose. Say that 5 times fast. Exhale, rebend into that front right knee. Can you hover that right foot and then begin to kick it up 3-legged? Any vinyasa you want from here, you could take a 1-legged, you could take a 2-legged, or you could take what? No vinyasa. That's right. Yeah. All right. Inhale, coming back to your breath. Big sigh out. When you're ready, gazing forward, hop, step, float, travel. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root and rise. Reach high. Those open twists, right arm back, left hand forward. Inhale, come back up. Left arm back, right arm forward, like you're doing a dance. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Maybe hands grab the back of the calves for just a moment as you just fold and compress yourself a little bit deeper. You could also take your feet hip width distance. Peace fingers or Tadasana here for you as well. Any shape you want for a deeper fold. Slowing the breath down for one more inhale. Big exhale, release your hands. Good. Stepping the right foot back, keep that left foot forward. Easy twist, left arm goes high towards the sky. Exhale, lower that left hand to the inside of the left foot. Wiggle the left foot out wide, lizard. From your lizard, move a little bit forwards and backwards, left and right. Good, easy twist, peel that left arm back up while you're in that wide lizard stance. Exhale, lower the left hand down. Maybe you straighten up that left leg a little bit more. You could keep as much of a bend as you need to for those hamstrings, but that back right heel is still lifted if you noticed. Exhale, re-bend into this front knee. Can you hover the left foot and then kick it up 3-legged? Any vinyasa you want, you could take that 1-legged with the crossed ankles or not. We'll meet back in down dog. Any journeys back to down dog, welcome. Taking a steady full inhale. And a big breath out. Resetting. One more full breath in. On the exhale, you gaze forward, hop, step, float. Woo. Travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root and rise. Reach high. Exhale, palms come into heart center. Nice, yogis. Taking a moment here to find your equilibrium. We've been moving kind of fast, but we've also been staying pretty low. So now that we stand up for a moment, come back to breath. Come back to the equilibrium in your body. Good. Shifting weight into your left foot. Bring your right knee up and in towards your chest. Now, left hand grabs onto that left knee. Right arm reaches back for your Shiva twist. Now, if you want to stay right here, please do. If you want to go a little bit further, grab onto the outside of that right foot with your left hand, and you can start to kick that right foot forward, keeping this open twist. Maybe you bring your gaze back towards your right thumb to challenge the balance. Last inhale here. Exhale, rebend that knee, unwind. We're all going to meet in a 1-legged Tadasana. Hands come into heart center, cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Figure 4 chair. Oh yeah, figure 4 chair. Loading into those glutes, right? We're balancing on our left foot. You can stay right here. This is hard enough as it is. Or you can lower your hands down to the earth. Or my personal favorite in these kinds of times when I need a little bit more twisting in my body, let's twist over to the left. So let's try to hook our right elbow to the outside of our right foot. If we don't fall and eat it. My balance these days is not the best. But again, compassion. Oh yeah, here we go. This is prepping us for an arm balance later. One more full inhale. Exhale, come back up. Bring that knee up and in, and then step it down. Ooh, let it go. Pedal it out. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, flow. We meet back in down dog. Any journey you want to get back to down dog. I'm taking the express route to down dog by skipping any vinyasa. And that is totally fine. Doesn't make you any less of a yogi. By doing every vinyasa, also conversely, it doesn't also make you more of a yogi. What makes you more of a yogi is really truly honoring what your body needs, just listening to it and adjusting. Trusting that intuition. When you're ready, travel to the top of the mat. Take your time to get there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root and rise. Reach high. Palms come into heart center. Find your equilibrium again. Find your balance. Let your head and your blood flow and your breath come back to neutral for just a moment. So often in fast vinyasa flows, we forget to add that time in there to give ourselves a chance to let our heart catch up, our breath catch up, and our blood, and also just our physical body to catch up with where our mind wants to be. It's a patient practice. Shift the weight into that right foot, bring that left knee up and in towards the chest. Right hand grabs onto the right outside of the right thigh. Left thigh. Reach that left arm back. Or you can take the right hand to the outside of the left foot and kick and extend out. You can start to work on bringing your gaze back towards that left thumb. Breathing into those hamstrings, that IT band, wherever you're feeling the stretch, the strengthening and the balancing in that right foot. Rooting down through your right foot like a tree roots down. One more breath in. Exhale, unwind, re-bend this knee. Hands come up overhead, and then the heart center as you move to your figure four chair. Now, maybe my balance will be better on the side because my right foot tends to be better at balancing. You might notice that about your own body too. That's just learning something. It doesn't mean anything good or bad. You can stay right here. You can fold your hands down, or you can take that twist over to the right. As I say that, my balance is better on my right side. My body's like, well, let me show you, lady. You think you know something? All right. Let's hope my body does not talk to me that way. Although it kind of feels like that in this pose right now. Let's hook that foot and elbow together. One more full inhale. Exhale, unwind. Ooh, step that left foot down, pedal it out, let it go. Swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and flow. We meet back in down dog if you want a vinyasa. If you don't, it's all good. Nice, yogis. Taking your time to sweep that right leg high towards the sky. Exhale, right knee in towards nose. Step your foot forward and through. Rise up, high crescent lunge. Open twist, right arm back. Option to grab with your right hand that left wrist for a bind of an exalted warrior. Open back up. Come back to high crescent lunge. Hands come into heart center. Where are we going? We're going to our figure four chair. Oh, yeah. Left foot comes up and over. Oh, we're back here. This is where we're going to bring in the arm balance. I'm going to turn towards you. I don't recommend doing that. You're going to hook your left elbow to the outside of your left foot. Now, you can bring your hands eventually down to the earth and your left foot stepping onto the back of your left arm. This is going to be your grasshopper pose. Unlike the baby grasshopper cute one that you might see on Insta. This one, eventually you work on lifting and kicking that right foot forward. Let me tell you, talking and doing that at the same time is like a lot. All right, so we have this left ankle on top. Wherever you're at, you could just be folded. You could work on a flying pigeon variation, but grasshopper is the one I was offering today for class. Give your head a little shake, yes and no. And then when you're ready, rise back up. Step that left foot down. Let it go. Cool. Take one more breath in. Exhale, cactus, your heart open. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, swan dive forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take your time to make it back to down dog. Any journey that takes you there. Whew. Once you arrive back with your breath, inhale, sweep that left leg high. Exhale, knee in towards nose, step that foot forward and through. Rise up, high crescent. Open up, open twist. If you'd like to exalt with that bind, grab onto that right wrist, stretch up and over. Come back to that open twist first, then to your high crescent. Hands come into heart center, your figure four chair. Again, we're twisting this right elbow to right foot. As you get that connection, you can bring your hands down to the earth, stepping that right foot onto the back of your right arm, gazing out long in front of you, not just directly down, as you kick that left foot out for the arm balance. Ooh. Have some fun with it. If you're just folded forward, you can work on that flying pigeon. If you're standing upright in that chair, keep working on that balance in the glutes. You got this. Sit a little bit lower. And let's all rise back up. Lower that foot down, pedal it out. One more breath in, reach a little bit higher. Exhale, cactus your heart open. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, swan dive forward fold. And take your time to vinyasa after your half lift. We meet back in down dog. Great. Inhale, sweep that right leg high. Exhale, right knee behind right wrist. Left foot over towards the left wrist. Hover this leg. Almost pigeon pose. One more breath in. Exhale, lower that shin down. Left leg straight back behind you. That almost pigeon pose is, it might be catching up to you in your breath. Whew, all that core strength. Find your balance here. So make sure you're not seated too far to the right or to the left. Be careful for that knee. Knees are expensive, I've been told. Walk your hands forward. And then maybe you start to fold forward. Unless you want to stay upright, that is more than welcome to be done. I'm just offering one variation to you right now. Lowering that head down to your pillow that you brought with you to sit on, or to a block, or maybe stacking your hands underneath, or just staying upright, whatever is working for you. Just mindful to soften the breath, soften your jaw, soften the physical body down as you really arrive and melt and fold forward. All right, yogis, taking 2 more full rounds of breath. So filling up. Audible open mouth sigh. Another full breath in. And another audible sigh. Taking your time to press your way upright. Nice and slow. Make your way back to your down dog however you need to. So you can tuck the left toes. You could just step that right foot back and pedal it out. You could take some knee circles in your tabletop. You could bend your knee, stack your hip. You could point the toes. Anything that feels good for you. Once you find the balance between the two sides, sweep that left leg high. Left knee behind left wrist or forearm. Right foot, foot goes over to the right wrist. Hold it up. Press the earth away a little bit further. Hug that leg in a little bit tighter. Exhale, lower it down for your half pigeon pose. Right leg straight back behind you. Find, once again, the balance between the two sides of your body. Not leaning too far left or right. And then when you feel ready, you can start to walk your way forward or stay upright. Giving yourself permission to soften, to release on those exhales, just that much more. Softening the jaw, softening the belly, the shoulders, even into the space between our brows. All right, friends, 2 more rounds of breath in. And the biggest breath out. Another full round of breath in. And a huge sigh out. When you feel ready to press your way back up to your palms, find your way back to that down dog. Getting the release for the left side of your body, finding the equilibrium between the left and right. Whatever shapes or organic movements that might be that you take on. All right, we're going to meet down on our knees or floating through to a seat, whatever's working for you today. Whew. Making your way down there. Feet are out in front of you. We've done enough forward folds to reach your arms forward as we just lower down nice and slow. The slower you go, the more you get out of this movement. Hugging your knees in towards your chest, give them a big old squeeze. Option for a shoulder stand here or a back bend if you'd like. If you want shoulder stand, make sure you're supporting yourself up on your low back. I'm going to make more accessible cueing for a back bend for bridge pose right now. If you want a supine twist, you can take that, a happy baby, anything that you want to close out your practice. This is yogi's choice. But this is the one I'm going to cue as bridge. So make sure you can just graze the back of your heels. If you really reach your fingertips long, feet are hip width distance. And then inhale, lift your hips high off the earth. Now you can interlace them to take a bind or not. You could also just keep your palms flat to the earth. Breathing into your belly space. 3 rounds of breath. Letting the belly expand out, big Buddha belly. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, breathe into the belly. Press into the big toe, inner arch of the foot. Exhale, let it go. 1 more breath in. Exhale, lower your hips down nice and slow. Good. We have 1 more round of maybe those 3 rounds of breath in bridge, in wheel, or in a shoulder stand. I'm going to go for wheel because that seems to be calling to me. I need a little bit of extra pick me up towards the late morning. So I'm going to place my palms next to my ears. I'm going to make sure my fingers are pointing towards my shoulders. My feet are still hip width distance. And if you want, you can do this, or you can take on that bridge pose once again. If you are going for wheel, though, your belly button goes high towards the sky. Your gaze is straight back behind you. You could also start to work on some things if you feel pretty flexible and pretty bendy in your wheel. Notice what feels good for you to do. And then after a couple rounds of breath, taking your time to eventually make your way back down to the earth. Please take your time though. Hugging those knees in towards your chest. Let's all give ourselves the biggest hug, the biggest squeeze on earth, showing ourselves all the love that we've got in our hearts. So let your arms and legs take up some space. Enjoy this Shavasana. Enjoy this rest. Just Give your body permission to just let every muscle relax, to let your physical body feel like it's weighing heavily down, like it's filled with sand. Just letting gravity take over. And then, as thoughts start to bubble up in your mind as you rest here, imagine that there's clouds passing by overhead. You're watching them drift away. As thoughts come up in your mind, simply place those thoughts in those clouds. And let those clouds just drift away. Watch your thoughts drift away. As you just enjoy this rest, I'll let you know when it's time to reawaken. When you feel ready to reawaken into your physical body, take a slow breath in, fill your body up with new air. Open mouth, sigh, let something go. Wiggles into fingers and toes or ankles and wrists. Maybe a heavy rock of the head, right and left. Before you find a nice good morning stretch, stretching long through your fingers and toes, hooking your thumbs. Exhale, hugging your knees in towards your chest, fetal position, rocking to one side or the other. Keeping your eyes closed. Taking your time to press your way up to a comfortable cross-legged seat. Back to how we began our practice. As the eyes stay closed, palms can rest to our knees or to heart center. closing out our practice, honoring what lies in our heart, but honoring that ceremony, that closing of our practice. After all the asana, after all the movement of yoga, that's just one part of yoga is asana and movement. Yes, we worked on some breath work. We worked on a little bit of meditation at the beginning, even. So we've been incorporating a little bit more. But that shavasana is really what we move and breathe for, that rest at the end, that death, that closing out and sealing off. Shavasana corpse pose represents us closing off whatever we needed to. Right? And then we roll over into our fetal position. That's the reawakening, the rebirth after. So at the end of a class, so often you hear teachers say namaste, and namaste represents a greeting, a bowing of your heart in honor to the other person, saying hello, saying welcome. So I'm greeting you at the end of your practice, reborn again, ready to start new, sealing off whatever happened before our practice and during. I welcome you into my heart. I bow and honor you, and I greet you. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. I truly appreciate it. And hopefully that ending kind of clarifies why we say namaste at the end of the class, or at least why I say it. Please take care of yourself, drink lots of water, check in on a loved one, do something nice to yourself, but also, if you can, go on and donate on blackswanyoga.com to the awesome teachers, but also just maybe send us a nice message as your payment today. Just check in on somebody that you know and send them a nice message as you're paying it forward in karma. But it's up to you. Anyways, I'm glad you joined me. Zoe is somewhere in my house. Zozo, come here. She's on the sofa. Zozo, if you want to see my dog one last time, she's pretty cute. Come here. You gotta wake up, sleepyhead. Come on. People might want to see you. Otherwise, you guys can have a great day. But I'm gonna try to get this 40-pound beast. Oh, she's like 37, 38 pounds. Ooh. A lump of potatoes over here. Sack of potatoes. I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody, Ms. Ozo. And I swear she likes to be held, even though she always just looks extremely scared. All right, bye guys. Have a great day from Zozo and I. Go snuggle a fur baby, maybe.